Thing did you and your family do this past year?
We went to South Carolina to my grandsons, David and Rick, and over the 4th of July. That was a most enjoyable event this past year.
All right. Okay. Who were your parents?
My parents were Edward and Elsie Libby.
Who were your grandparents?
My grandparents were Franklin and Hat Libby on my father's side. My mother's side were Willis and Evelyn Pratt.
And who were your great-grandparents?
My great-grandparents were Grosvenor and Martha Nutting. I don't know if I can remember the names on my mother's side. I don't know now.
Okay, that's okay, Helen. How are you related to Percy and Annie Lane? And can you
I
connect?
married their son, Willard.
You married their son Willard.
Hmm? I guess I tie in through marriage.
Okay. Well, thanks, Helen. Enjoy your time here.
That's all you need.
Ray Yady.
And where do you live at this time?
I live in Canandaigua, New York with my sister Kelly.
I didn't get the name.
Kelly? I live with my sister Kelly.
No, the place.
Canandaigua, New York. It's right next to Palmyra.
Canandaigua.
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 Canandaigua. Right next to Palmyra.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks. Okay, what fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
We went to the Hill Cumorah pageant as a family. That was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Who in your family went?
All of Kelly's family.
All of Kelly's family? And Kelly is your sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, next question. Who were your parents? Who are your parents?
Who were they?
They're still living, aren't they?
Yes, they're still living. Carlton and Janine Lane are my parents.
Who were and are your grandparents?
Helen Lane is the one still living.
Okay.
And Willard Lane.
Okay. Now, this is a tough one. Who were your great-grandparents?
Percy and Annie.
Percy and Annie Lane.
Yes.
All right, you got that one right.
I did good. One for me.
Okay, what are your names and where do you live?
Starting with who?
You.
My name's Christopher Scott Lane, and I live up the road at 45 Lee Road in Litchfield, Maine.
If you could speak up, please.
I'm Amy Lane, and I live with him. What's your name? This is Sierra Lane, and that's Julia Lane.
Hey, you know where you live. That's good.
Yep. And this is Joshua Lane. He lives with us.
All right. Okay. What's the time? All right. First question. What fun thing did your family do this past year?
What did you guys have fun doing this last year?
Playing in the water.
Playing in the swimming. We did a lot of swimming.
Cool.
Camping. We had fun camping. Like
What about the river?
In ballet.
oh, ballet. They did ballet.
Ballet. Awesome.
What about the river? Did you go down the river this summer for the first time?
Did you guys go whitewater rafting? Down the raft? Yeah, we did.
Remember? Beginning of the summer? And it was still kind of cold. What else did we do?
That's it? Next question?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Who? This is gonna be on the Lane side because, this is the Lane Road
That's
reunion.
okay, because I only know my parents. Really.
Okay, where and are your parents?
All right, my parents, George Lane and Joyce Lane.
And where and are your grandparents?
My grandparents are Willard Lane and Helen Lane on the Lane side. On my father's
And who were your great grandparents?
My great grandparents, this is a quiz, were Percy and Annie Lane.
All right, and this is just a follow-up. Can you connect the dots? How are you related to Percy and Annie Lane, working from Percy and Annie Lane down?
Percy and Annie Lane down?
Yeah, it's like a family tree kind of thing.
Okay, well, Percy and Annie Lane are Willard Lane's, my grandfather's parents, and Willard and Helen Lane are my father's parents, and my father's my father.
And Sierra, Julia, and Joshua are your descendants.
Children.
That's right.
Children.
So this is the 5th generation from Percy.
That's too much to think about.
Right?
So if we included them, would they be the sixth, right?
Because, see, high calculations, there you go.
Us,
He is not camera shy, by the way.
Ram.
He loves the camera. All right, guys, thanks a lot.
And we've forgotten something here.
What?
If I take
Oh,
him,
yeah.
we're working on the Lane side a little bit more.
Yes, we got one in the oven, don't we?
This is Wesley. He'll be
Yeah.
joining
Wesley.
Wesley, he'll be joining us in December.
What's his middle name?
Scott.
Well, Wesley Scott Lane.
That's right.
Now, I asked your husband what his nickname would be, and do you know what he told me? He said Nestle.
Great.
That's
That
actually
was coming from him.
Steve did. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh man. All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Enjoy your time
thanks,
here.
Steve.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. What are your names and where do you live?
My name is Jason Carey.
And try to speak up as much as possible, because
My name is Jason Carey, and I have a lovely family, and we live in Belgrade Lakes and the Belgrade Village in Maine here. And this is my lovely wife, life partner,
Kathy Carey.
in crime, partner in crime.
say your name.
Marcia Carey.
Okay. You live in Belgrade. Okay. First question. What fun thing did you guys do this past year?
Did we do anything, Phil?
Play baseball.
Tell the camera. Dude,
Speak up, Percy.
over there, look, see those people watching us?
You're gonna be in the history books. This is just like the Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. This is just as great as that.
Maybe even greater.
Yeah. You played baseball? Okay. All right.
Play upright base, maybe?
I helped some kids carve pumpkins.
There you go.
Oktoberfest.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have to say we went to a bluegrass music festival
Where was that?
in
Ossipee Valley.
Ossipee Valley.
Ossipee Valley.
Fairgrounds.
Where is that, or in relation to Augusta, Maine?
About 2 hours.
West. 2 hours west.
West?
Almost into New Hampshire.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Next question? Okay. Now this is gonna be related to the Lane side because this is a Lane Road reunion. Who are your parents?
Okay, my parents, Jim or George Lane and Joyce Lane,
Okay. Who are your grandparents?
would be Helen and Willard Lane.
And do you know who were your great grandparents?
My great grandparents was Percy Lane and Annie.
What are your names and where do you live?
I'm Ashley Garrett and I live in Pittston, Maine. Melanie Garrett, I live with her in Pittston, Maine.
Nicole Garrett. I live with them too. Yeah, in Pittston.
Okay. All right. First question. Well, second question really, but What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
We went to a Kiss concert and a Kelly Clarkson concert.
What else did you do?
We went to Six Flags.
All right.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a good time.
That's what we did. Good
Oh,
time.
we've been snowboarding too.
Yeah, we went skiing. Also.
Yeah, we did go skiing.
Snowboarding and skiing, or both?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the
Cool.
spa.
Yeah.
Who snowboards?
I snowboarded.
She tried.
I want to try snowboard.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's hard though.
All right, next question.
Your face gets so serious. Next question.
This is an interview, you know, so
Okay.
gotta get the business here.
All right.
Business time.
He's gonna.
All right, who are your parents? I guess you can answer separately. You, Melanie, then the children can answer.
That's us.
She's my parent.
Okay.
Who's
She's
your
my
dad?
parent.
Who's your dad?
William Gret the third.
No,
Oh.
that's your brother.
Junior.
William
Junior.
Barrett Jr. My parents are Willard Carlton Lane and Mary Janine Summons Lane.
Okay. Who are your or were your grandparents?
My grandparents
That's
are.
on my side.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Is her parents, which is Janine Lane and Carlton Lane.
My grandparents are William Cotton and Marilyn Janine. Mary Janine Summons.
Lane.
Okay.
My grandparents are Willard and Helen.
Okay. And just to top it off, who were your great grandparents?
Oh my heavens.
My great grandparents are her grandparents, which is Helen and Willard Lane.
My great grandparents are Willard and Helen Lane. Also.
Do you know this one, Melanie?
My great grandparents are, yes, Annie Lane and
Percy Lane.
Yes, Percy Lane.
And Percy Lane, all right. What is your name and where do you live? Your names and where you live.
My name's Willie Garrett and I live in West Gardner.
And my name is Vanessa Garrett, and I live in West Gardner as well.
Okay. First question. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
Well, one fun thing we've done this past year is we bought a house in West Gardner.
Our first house.
We didn't actually live in West Gardner last year, so but we've been doing a lot of remodeling on it. There was a lot of stuff wrong with it, and a lot of like Grandma Lane, Janine Lane has been helping us out a lot with it. She's helped us outside with our garden and stuff like that, and our flower beds. And a lot of family members from the Lane side actually have been helping us out a lot. Stephanie's been over a lot.
Yeah, Stephanie Perry and then Willie's mom, Melanie, they've done a lot of work organizing people to come over and help us get the house ready and do all the painting and no, it's been good. It's
Monterey's son
really-
David helped us put in doors too. That was cool.
And he also helped scrape some popcorn ceiling off the kitchen.
Yeah. They were hardcore that day.
They were.
Scraping the
They're all
So I take
covered
it
in
this is
white.
fun for you guys. This is a fun event in your life.
Oh, I don't know. Well, it's been fun to have the house. The renovations themselves aren't particularly fun.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes it's fun putting it
Depends on what it
together.
is.
Okay. All right, next question. I guess, I don't know how this will work, but I'm gonna ask your parents, your grandparents, and great grandparents, but I guess try to relate it to as close as you can to the Lane side.
Yeah, my mom is Melanie Garrett, who was Melanie Lane. Her parents are
And your dad.
what?
Your dad is.
My dad is Willie Garrett.
Okay.
And so he married Melanie Garrett, who's Melanie Lane.
Okay.
And Melanie Lane, she her parents are Jean and Carlton Lane, and
your grandparents.
those are my grandparents are Carlton and Jean, and then
Okay.
my great grandparents are Helen and Willard.
Okay. What is your names and where do you live?
Hi, I'm Frank Lane, and I live in Litchfield. And this is my daughters, my grandson's daughters.
Hi, I'm Penny Cookson. Manchester, Maine. These are my daughters, Lindsay and Mackenzie.
I'm Doreen Staples. I live in Alfred, Maine. This is Abigail, my daughter, my youngest daughter, and Alexandria is not with us today. She's doing something else.
Okay, first question. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year? And you can answer this individually if you'd like.
No, you're a row.
What'd you do for me?
Oh, what did they do?
We
And if you could speak up a little bit, because the noise, I appreciate it.
We all have to go to Thanksgiving.
You better be loud.
What do we do for Christmas?
I don't believe in Christmas.
Did we miss Christmas? Oh, good, we get 2 this year.
I know I didn't get any presents. We didn't have Christmas this week.
Oh,
No.
darn.
You do anything fun?
Yes, we did some fun stuff. We went to, where'd we go? We went to a Bruins game. We've gone to Baltimore, saw a couple Red Sox games, and we went to Busch Gardens this summer.
Did any of those teams win?
Yes, they did win.
That's a bonus right there, huh?
Yes, that's right.
We did fun guys. We did a kayak trip. Myself, Deb, the girls, for Paddle for a Purpose to raise money for the Pine Tree Camp.
Do you know what time next year was? So, tell me you're going to do it next year because we're getting it on film.
Well, next year, my intention is to do the cancer walk that they did this morning. Penny, my father, and the girls.
Yeah, we did a cancer walk this morning.
And so my intention
You did a
is...
cancer walk this morning?
Yeah, 5 miles.
Well,
Don't they look
you
tired?
got your exercise, didn't you?
They look tired. I rested.
There was a lot of people out. I bet
Was it fun?
600-700.
Easy.
Easy.
Should we move on to the next question?
Sure.
Okay, next question. I guess I'll start with Frank. Who were your parents?
My father was Walter Lane and my mother was Alda Antonelli.
And who were your grandparents?
My grandparents was Percy Lane and Annie Rowe.
Okay. Now this might be a tough one for you. Do you know your great-grandparents?
Great grandparents, boy, that wasn't good.
They won't.
I was just talking to David about that, David Howard, and he told who your great grandmother was.
You tell me that.
It was I think it was May. It was Willard's second wife. May. I think his first wife was Annie Lane.
Thank you for filming.
Well, we'll put a question mark on that one.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, and Penny, who were your parents?
I'm not sure.
Wrong answer.
My father is Frank Lane, and my mother is Nancy Jewett. Was Barry. My grandparents. You're supposed to ask that. My grandparents were Walter Lane and Alda Bennett. Oh, you need those?
And your great-grandparents?
Same as
That would be these people here, Percy and Anna.
Annie.
Annie.
You
have to be.
My great-grandparents?
Yeah.
Your grandparents, yes. Those are my great-grandparents.
Okay. I guess,
It's a ditto.
yeah, so your sisters, so that if you want to say it, you can. If you don't, we can save some
Just
time.
go with what she had to
Okay.
say.
Don't let her spoil my spotlight.
But the children have a different answer, don't they?
They do.
Should I ask one of them?
Absolutely.
Who wants to speak for the children?
I will, I guess.
Okay, who were your parents?
Peggy Cookson and Carrie Cookson.
Okay, who are your grandparents on the Lane side?
Do you want to say Grandpa or Frank?
Frank?
Frank Lane. And Nancy Jewett. Yeah, Jewett.
Do you know your great-grandparents?
Walter Lane and Alda Bennett.
Okay.
And Abigail will have a different answer for you.
My parents are Dorian Staples and Bradley Staples. My
Grandparents?
are Frank Lane and Nancy Jewett. And my grandparents, Walter Lane and
All right, you get a gold star. Good job. Just Litchfield. All right. What are your names and where do you live?
My name is Paul Lane. I live in Litchfield.
Okay. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
We went to Aruba in the early summer, and we had a wonderful time. We was out there, over there for a week. We had some friends that own a timeshare there, and they invited us along, and all we had to pay for was our expenses, and we rented a vehicle. We split the price of that and had a wonderful time. Went all over the island's about 20 miles long and 6 miles wide, something like that.
We also went to Mexico too.
Yep. Yep, we
New
did
Mexico?
that. Yep. Took me up to my daughter Kim's graduation.
Which one did you like better? Or were they both the same?
Well, with different purposes.
Okay.
One was, we had fun at both of them. A lot of fun.
Okay, good. All right, second question. Who were your parents? Who were your parents?
Walter Lane and Arla Antonelli.
Okay. Who were your grandparents?
Well, my father's parents were Percy Lane and Annie Rowe. And my mother's parents were Ella Forty and Dominic Antonelli.
Okay. And we talked to David Howard about who your great-grandparents were. Can you name those?
Oh, on my father's side, my Lanes were Willard Lane and his wife May. I guess her real name was Mary. I don't know what her maiden name was. And on my grandmother's, his wife was Annie Lane. On her side was Charles Chipman Rowe and Payne. I can't remember her name now.
I don't know either. We were supposed to have a family tree here. You know, we had it back a couple of years ago, and that would have showed you all the names. I don't think we did this year. Okay, all right, next question. Last question. How are you related to Percy and Elaine? How do you tie into the Lane Rowe family? Can you connect the dots from Annie and Percy down to you?
Well, Percy Lane's wife was Annie Rowe, was her maiden name. That's how I tie into the Rowes.
Okay. And Percy, to you just work down again?
Well, Percy, my grandfather, his son was Walter Lane, and I'm Walter Lane's son.
Okay.
But, you know, we shouldn't forget, this beautiful woman sitting beside me here is my lovely bride wife for 2 years, who I absolutely love, very happy with.
Okay. All right, thanks,
Her name
guys.
is, did I tell you? Her name is Mary. I hope I told you that. Her maiden name was Malay. And
That's okay.
Well, thanks. We wouldn't want to forget that.
Oh, absolutely not.
All right, thanks, guys. Enjoy your time here. What are your names and where do you live?
I'm Kathy Wentworth and I live in Brownfield, Maine.
I'm Raymond Wentworth and I live in Brownfield, Maine.
Okay.
His husband.
All right. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
We went to a lot of baseball games with my grandson and watched him, and we've been watching him football. I've been helping my son build a storage building.
Nice.
Doing things together.
Are you watching any baseball this fall?
No, I don't watch much baseball.
No.
Other than our grandson.
Yeah, than my grandson, yeah.
He's our all-star.
He'll probably do better than the Red Sox anyway. And Kathy, was that it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's our joy.
All right. Number 2, how are you related to the Lanes?
Okay, I am half-sister to Paul and Frank Lane, daughter of Alda.
Your daughter Valda. And Alder was,
Walter's first wife.
okay. Well, all right. You guys enjoy your time here, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ready, go. What is your name and where do you live?
My name's Elizabeth Ann Lane Walton, and I live in Palmyra, New York.
Okay. First or second question. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
Well, my kids are all grown, and we haven't had much chance to do things with kids because we've been working on this house that we bought in Palmyra. So mostly we've been working on getting the house in the shape, and haven't had any vacation time or fun time off for the last year.
So that's your release, you think?
Well, in a year it'll probably be in better shape, and then we can start doing some traveling and visiting. We were also separated for most of the year because when we bought the house, he was supposed to be able to come out here and move out here with me and telecommute, but after we bought the house, the company changed their mind. So then I had to come out here and live in New York all by myself for a year and a half until I finally could get a transfer. So
That must have been tough.
yeah, it wasn't a lot of fun stuff going on.
Yeah, well,
I'm glad he's here now, though. So I did get to go to a friend invited me to a horse show where they do carriage racing and stuff, but I went by myself because he was in California. So,
okay. All right. Next question. Who are your parents?
my parents are Firstine and Marilyn Lane, and they're descended from Edwin Lane.
Okay. Who are your grandparents? I'm just gonna go down the line here.
That's okay. My grandparents were Edwin and Violet Lane.
Okay. Who are your great grandparents?
That would have been Percy and.
You gotta go down, around the cone.
This
You gotta
cone
go
here.
around the cone and back.
We were.
But we're taking pity on you. All right, so.
This is a great idea, Debbie.
On go.
Great idea. I was
Whoever
like, how are we
passes
going to do
down the
that
way
outdoor
back.
stuff? And I was like, this is
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Go, Joshie! Go, Joshie! Go, Joshie!
You have to round it. But you gotta finish the race. You gotta finish the race. You have to finish. Oh, that's good.
I told her, I said, no boy. No boy, you know? No, put one in front of him, all right? And I said, no, you're two. No dating. I like you boys. Yeah, that's all. Thank you. I'm a little hot. That was good. We were second. Woohoo! Look at that. That was actually kind of hard. That is one girl.
Young Eagles, Dave is the first. You got to do it in 30 seconds or less. Just gonna get up there, around the cone, and back. Around the cone. And back, across. Ready? On go. 1, 2, 3, go!
Push
Because you always find weird little games. I don't know, you always just find weird.
Push it, he said.
Laptop and a love seat and recliner. Line it on the car.
Nope, no, the space one, I want to buy it. I saw it on the other day.
That
So
hurt.
cool. Looks awesome.
Nice way to bring up the rear. Woo! Ow.
I don't know how to do it. What about this rear? That's the way to bring up the rear. Mom.
Oh, you need your shoes.
I said, yeah, no, they're not those.
Okay. Alright, we ready? Careful, honey. Alright, ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, no, oh, no.
Oh, my God!
Stephanie, will you find it? Will you find it?
I don't care. We can just start and get one today.
Well, if you go to the Rocky School
We need another knot. No. We need another. Okay, this is nice. What are you doing here?
How'd he do?
Good.
What?
Good. Real good.
Hello.
He's a contender.
That's right.
Why, those guys doing that? That's cool. Are you serious? Yeah.
6th grade and then she's 7th grade.
Alright, so. Alright, so. Are we ready?
No, the elementary school.
Okay,
The house or whatever it was. And we
this one is going to be for the yearly trophy we brought back next year.
So don't worry, because if they come to us later, with a mark that was supposed to be passing over to change the grade. I'm looking at her like, okay, so that's teaching my child what?
Responsibility? Actually, they are. Let's see, how many years difference? Let's see, there's... This guy's gonna start right here. Faster!
Because I remember him saying they really like the middle school.
Well, no, I'm saying...
the high school.
There we go. Alright, I'll let you take it. One step. Okay. Alright. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Go, Ashley, go, Ashley! You guys aren't fast. Oh, go, Grace, go down and breathe. Careful, Grace, careful, Grace. Teamwork, child, teamwork! You okay, Katie? Katie, you okay? It's called a
All right. All right, so for your first shot, at your will, huck it.
On your mark. Get set.
Go.
Go.
Okay. Go.
Oh, wait. You gotta back up.
Now you gotta back up first.
Not too big of a step. One step.
Whoa,
Stop throwing it.
Whoa,
Okay,
hold it. Whoa. Wait.
Chaos, chaos.
You guys didn't get the house control.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
That's just selling hard-boiled eggs. $5. Hard-boiled eggs. Guaranteed winner.
And
That's more than one step. You have to move.
Hey, now we got some good food. I think I'm too close. Chris. Hey, Joshua. Buddy. Hey, who's over there? Oh, let's stay out of the camera.
I didn't do it quite high.
One right. Probably a soft shell. It's selling hard-boiled.
You gotta back up one step.
actually, I'm gonna send it back this way. All right, you gotta go back this way. All right, you guys just go back this way. All right, I'll do one.
Yeah? Can't find your hand?
Let's try it again.
Percy with the slide.
Open great, wow. Strong egg.
It's not even on the same side now. It's hard to follow.
Oh, that one's dead.
Where's the evidence?
Whoa. That would have been bro. Definitely could have had that one on top of the face.
That was a definite get.
Right there.
What's that? Do they have a ball that they're kicking over there? Did you want to try that?
Oh, wow. It was all inclusive.
Well, like you think, Joshua. What did they do? Oh, wash the hand again.
We're down to 2. All right, again.
Yeah.
Hey, who's the winners?
that was these two right here.
Caleb and Stephanie.
Yeah,
Let's see your prize, Stephanie.
Now she got, best costume. We gotta change that.
What is that thing anyway? What is that thing?
It's a hand. It's for the best egg tossing people.
It's a hand. Mom.
All right.
I can't see you.
All right.
Winners.
All right, inside we have some ice cream.
Your name and where do you live?
I'm Caleb Perry, and I live in Pittston.
Stephanie Perry, live in Pittston, Maine.
I'm Brianna Perry and I live in Pittston.
Courtney Perry and I live in Pittston.
All right. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
That's easy.
We went to New York City, and we saw a lot of Broadway.
And the Bronx Zoo.
Cool.
It was hot.
Awesome.
What else we do? We went to the beach for a couple days in a cabin.
Okay. Next question. Who are your parents and who are your parents?
That's my mom, and Stephanie Perry, and my dad isn't here. He's Chris Perry.
Okay.
And my parents were, Helen, Janine, and Carlton Lane.
Okay. And who are your grandparents?
My grandparents are Helen Lane and Willard Lane.
Janine Lane and Carlton Lane.
Okay. And who were your great grandparents?
Helen and Willard Lane.
Okay.
I don't know, great grandparents, the Percys?
Who are you and where are you from? Where do you live?
My name is Sylvia. I'm a Lane. I'm a Willard and Helen Lane. Marl. And I live in Litchfield, 99 Libby Road. And I'm kind of like the horse lady. Everybody knows me as the horse lady.
Yep.
So that's pretty much what I do.
Okay.
I have a school bus in between, but my passion is horse riding.
Horses.
So my things that I did was fun. I barrel race, which is an event you do with your horses. And my husband also, which is Nick Morrow, and he likes them as well, so he helps a lot. He drives a truck. He's a truck driver during the week, and we try to go to the horse shows through the weekend.
Okay, so second question, who are your parents and who are your parents?
My parents is Willard and Helen Lane.
And who are your grandparents?
My grandparents is Elsie and Edward Libby.
And who are your great grandparents?
And my great great grandparents is Annie and
Percy.
Annie. What's Dad's father's name?
What are your names and where do you live?
I'm Brent.
Tracy,
Jesse,
Last names, please.
Bouchard, and Duncan. And we live in Jefferson,
Jefferson. Okay.
Maine, on the lake,
Okay. What lake?
Clary Lake.
Clary Lake. Cool. First question. What fun thing did you or your family do this past year?
Yeah, we went to Disney in November. Four of us. And
Florida?
Yep. We went to Orlando and we stayed in a Caribbean resort for 11 days.
Cool. You said 4 of you.
Yes.
My son too. Who's not here today?
What is your son's name?
Devin.
Devin? Okay. All right, this will be geared towards the Lane side. Who were your parents?
Joyce and Jim Lane.
Who were your grandparents?
Helen and Willard Lane.
And who were your great-grandparents?
Percy and Annie Lane and Elsie and Edward.
What is your name and where do you live?
My name is David Lane Howard. I live in Manhattan, New York.
Okay.
10001 is the zip code.
Okay. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
Well, I did several things. For business, I went to New Zealand. For vacation, I went to Provincetown, Massachusetts. I went to Washington, D.C. I went to Utah twice. I went to my mother's 80th birthday in Salt Lake City. And then also went to Utah for a high school reunion, my 30th high school reunion.
Wow, what was that like?
Great, wow. It's been a long time. It's been 10 years since I saw those people that I grew up with. And it's good to see. Yeah, it's all good.
Awesome. Okay, next question. Who were your parents? Who are your parents?
My parents are Thomas Larson Howard and Mariel Kendall. They were married in 1955. And Mariel is the daughter of my grandparents, which are Mildred Lane and Norman Kendall. And my great-grandparents are many. We have 4 great-grandparents each, okay? The great-grandparent that I'm related here on the Lane side is Percy and Annie Lane. Other great-grandparents include John Kendall and Alma McAllister. Then Thomas Howard and Mary Lowe, and Carl P. Larson and Eva Joanna Larson, Joanna Johnson. Okay, that's my 4 great-grandparent sets. Okay, how am I related to Percy and Annie Lane? Well, as you...
Just trying to connect the dots.
Sure, sure. I am the son of Mariel Kendall, who was the daughter of Mildred Lane, who was the daughter of Percy and Annie Lane. Okay?
I think that's it, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good time.
You too.
I'm Dave Lane. This is my wife,
Debbie.
Debbie. And we live here in this house in Litchfield, Maine.
Okay, next question. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
We took quite a few trips up to the White Mountain area and took our dogs for rides up through there, long walks and being together.
Alright, next question. Getting into the genealogical side of the questions here. Who were your parents? And I guess you could speak for the Lane side or Debbie's side if you want, but this is for the Lane reunion DVD, so probably who were your parents, Dave?
Okay, my parents would be Raymond, Grace Lane, and do you want Debbie's?
It's that's
just my side?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Raymond and Grace Lane.
Okay, who were your grandparents?
Percy and Annie Lane.
And who were your great-grandparents?
That's a good question. Willard, see, it's hard.
What is your name and where do you live?
My name is Shauna Lane Summers Newton. Forgot my married name. And I live in Fort Mill, South Carolina.
Okay, what fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
The most fun thing I did this past year was a sisters and a grandmother get-together weekend with my sisters in Charleston, South Carolina, where I met with my grandmother, my aunt, my mother, and my 3 sisters and 1 sister-in-law.
Okay. Next question. Who are your parents?
My parents are Walt and Shirley Summers. Shirley is the daughter of Willard and Helen Lane. And Willard is the son of Percy and Annie Lane. I got that right, didn't I?
I guess you answered the other 2 questions I was going to ask you.
I do. Yes, if I go backwards, there's Percy and Annie Lane, who gave birth to Willard, who married Helen, who gave birth to my mother, Shirley, who married Walt, who gave birth to me, Shauna.
Okay. That was, I think that you answered all the questions I was going to ask you. But thank you, Shauna.
And this is actually, well, this is the first time that I've been able to come up to the Lane Row reunion, so hi to everybody, and it was good. Keep it up.
All right, thank you. All right, what are your names and where do you live?
I am Shirley Summers.
Walt Summers.
We live in Willard, Utah.
Okay, next question. What fun thing did you and your family do this past year?
We do fun stuff all the time. I've done a lot of fun things. In July, I flew into North Carolina, then went to South Carolina to our daughter Shauna's home. We had a grandmother-daughter get together and went down to Charleston. Had a wonderful time there because we went to the Lane Kendall reunion at Bear Lake. We went to Texas in May and got to witness our first grandson be married in the temple, and their little girl sealed to them. We just flew today to Maine. We flew to Texas last Saturday and spent 2 or 3 days in Texas with our daughter Renita. And now we're going to be in Maine for about 12 days. Looking forward to seeing all the relatives here. And we're sorry we were too late for the Lane Ruddle family reunion here.
That was a lot of stuff. A lot of good times. Sounds like.
Yes.
Okay, the next question. Who, I don't know, I guess just tell me your family tree by who your parents were, each. Walt and Shirley, say that. Who were your parents? And work down for me, who were your grandparents, and then who were your great-grandparents? So who were your parents?
My parents are Willard and Helen Lane. My father's parents were Percy and Annie Lane. My mother's parents were Edward and Elsie Libby. My great-grandparents I knew on my mother's side, but we're talking Lane side. I never knew Willard. I think his name, was it Willard Ernest Lane? It seems to me that was his name. My father was named after him. And his wife, I don't remember. Seems like it was Louise.
Willard.
One of his wives was Louise.
He had 2 wives.
Yeah.
First one was Annie, and the second one I believe was May.
I do know that Percy, when he was born, his mother died.
I think that was Annie. I think Annie died, didn't she?
Percy's mother died when he was young. Annie's mother also died. But Percy was not raised by his father. He was raised by his grandparents.
Okay.
And he never called his father Dad. He called his father Will, because he went by Will instead of Willard.
Percy called his father Willard Will. Okay.
Yeah, because he wasn't raised by his father. He was raised by his grandparents, which I think my mother can probably tell you. I think it was Andrews. Must have been.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that raised him.
Okay. Did I ask you who your grandparents were? You just went down the line, didn't you?
You want me to go down the line now?
Yes.
Willard Ernest Lane. His son was Percy Lane, who was my grandfather. I actually knew Percy Lane. And Annie Lane, his wife, I knew her very well. She would come to our house and stay, and when she was at our house, she knew it was so important that I learned to play hymns. And she would offer to do the night dishes for me if I would go practice the piano. And she always wanted me to practice, Did You Think to Pray?
That was Annie.
That was Annie Lane after her husband had passed away. And then my dad, Percy and Annie's son, one of their children, is Willard Lane, and he's my father.
Now go back one more generation to your great-grandparents.
On the Lane side?
Yeah.
Well, Willard Ernest, I never knew him. He would have been my great-grandfather.
Okay.
He died before I was born.
All
I
right.
don't know anything about him.
But okay, that'll be good.
Tell me what you want me to say.
No, that's all. I just wanted to know who the name.
Okay.
So we know if you were to look at a family tree, you say Willard and Annie, or whichever wife it was. I don't know how.
Okay.
Then Percy and Annie, then you, and so This might sound repetitive, but could you work back from, or just connect the dots, like from Annie and Percy to you? I guess that's not very far, but
Annie and Percy were my grandparents,
Okay.
my father's parents.
Okay.
And I knew them well. Well, I knew my grandmother well. My grandfather, I don't know. I can't remember how old I was when he passed away, something like 8, I think. I don't remember him really well. But I can picture him meeting with us in our home for church on Sundays. He'd always have a suit, always wore a suit, and he had a watch that had a chain on it that was always hanging from his coat. That's about all I can remember about
it's a
it.
pretty distinct memory.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that was it. Thank you.
Right.